Hallo.
Hallo zusammen. Hallo Robert.
Hello, welcome to Fun with Relux, episode 15.
Modeling of 3D objects.
3D objects modeling, today topic of our episode.
Before we start, there is a special thing today. We have record this session because I'm out of the office tomorrow, and so we will make this as live as we make it normally all the time with Fun with Relux.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, Robert alone will answer your questions, and you will now seeing a record of this session.
It's just one day ahead, so it's almost the same. It's just about appointment trouble we have. So yeah, so this is a pre-recording, but normally we will not notice because we'll just notice in the end of the session by answering the questions. I will be alone. So yeah, so the topic today is 3D modeling. In Relux Desktop, you can do a lot regarding 3D modeling. There are a lot of options, a lot of tools available to create the entire world as a 3D model in Relux Desktop. It's not the same as an 3D modeler, a modern 3D modeler from, I don't know, for example, Blender, which is an open source one. So we are a bit limited, a bit to this, what we guess, what do you need for lighting design. But there are a lot of options, and we going through today roughly just in 20 minutes, 25 minutes in this time frame. We will show you what is possible. It's not it's deep, but it's not a training session where we try to help you to do it also step by step. It's just to rush over what is possible.
Yeah, these are not new features which are available in Relux, but we are think that many users will. Some of you may have forgot it. Other ones may haven't seen that these possibilities are available in Relux, and so we hope you have fun with Relux in our session. In this session, we will show a lot, and so I will start presenting the screen and jump into a Relux project, into an empty rectangular scene. And starting with 3D modeling, you will find them in the ribbon insert under base objects. There are the objects available, and in the top of the line we have the solid bodies, which means that it typically is in an extruded based on an extruded shape solids. So we will start. We have here the possibility to create a simple cube. We can change the length, the height by clicking on this.
You have to hit the spot.
You have to hit at the red point, and then you will see now that it is the sign changes, and then it is changing. It's for me a little bit difficult because here it's on this kind of screen. You have also the possibility to fill in the size parameters here in the parameter list, as I guess this is not so interesting. Here we have a simple cube. We have also the possibility, the other one, I guess the most interesting is here the prism. That means that you can draw a polygon shape in each what you want, and afterwards you will have to create this extrusion body to use it inside of your project. So now we have, most of you will know a little bit how does this work, but I guess not everybody of you will know that you have the possibility also to make these drawings after you have changed the direction of your working plane. The working plane is this grid which we are seeing here under the ground. This is the default situation for when we are working with Relux Desktop. But we have, for example, the possibility to click here, for example, on a wall, and then make a right click and then assign the working plane to this wall. And now we are able to start our drawing here on this wall, and this is very helpful, for example, when I want to create a stair for my project. And so with a few clicks, I can create here now
a stairway.
A stairway. You can change here the size. And after I have created this I've drawn this in this on this working plane, on this view, I switch it back to my floor, which is my basic, and the stair is still there. I guess many of you will do this by doing this in the floor plan, in the ground plan, and then rotating the object later, which is also possible. But
this is maybe more easy, especially if you have a CAD side view of your building or staircase room. Then it's really easy to just duplicate from the CAD plan from the side view of it and to redraw it. Yeah.
And these are when I go back to this base object. So these first 3 objects, these are face-based extrusions, and we have here a last one, which is also very interesting for many situations in the planning day. You can draw by a line. This is a partition wall, and after clicking, and now make a third click, and then I enter return to close to finalize my line, and then I have the possibility to choose in which direction the thickness of my wall should be. And so now I have created here a partition wall for my room in a very few steps. Then we have the possibility to use some primitive solids as a sphere, for example.
Round shape elements.
They have also the parameters, so the sphere, we have just a radius, which we can scale. But we have also here, for example, a half sphere or a ring, what we can also make. It's also possible to use this in many dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Also interesting, and I guess not so known from everybody, is the possibility to use here the body of rotation. For this element, we will first when I choose this command, I have first to draw a mirroring axis, and then with 2 clicks, with 2 points, and then I have the possibility to create something strange shapes.
So this is going to be in rotation.
And then we will have here a rotation
volume,
and we can rotate it so that we have the possibility that then, oops. The mouse handling is a little bit difficult here on this system. Yeah. And for that, then we have here, can create
propensity column.
Propensity columns for many
also small objects. If you have an race, what's the English name, where you put in the plants, you can put this on the table, and this is also an interesting option to model with a rotation volume object.
Or bottles or something like that. Yeah. Okay, and then also very helpful in many situations, and you start to have prepared here a small situation, and these are the Boolean functionality of RELUX to work with Boolean groups. We call them Boolean groups. And here, for example, I have prepared here some simple object. This is in this case, it's just a cube and a sphere. And also mark that I have used different colors. So the cube is blue and the sphere is red. And now we have the possibility to combine them. I select both 2 objects. It's also possible to select more objects. And then with a right click, we will find here the command create Boolean group. And for that, we have three options: difference, intersection, and union. And for the difference, I guess this is the most used element. You will now subtracting from the cube the sphere, and you will get this result. We have the possibility to choose the intersection, which is the rest, the opposite of that what we have created in the first object. And the last one is the union is to create a Boolean group, to create a union. This looks in the first step not very different, but for the program there's a big difference, because in the later calculation it will not uses the inner
surfaces of the sphere.
Mm-hmm. We can simulate this by to convert this in a 3D object. That is what the calculation kernel later will see. And I'll switch back to my first column, and then we will have here this combination of these both objects.
If you're going to create one object out of this tool, you lost the functionality which we see.
No, we will not lost the functionality. If we store these parameters, we can later, for example, here change the size of this sphere, and then we will have here a difference. So all these things are parametrical, and it will also store these parametrical situations. So these are very simple situations. Just to give you an idea of what is possible, I will show you here oh, sorry, it is not open at the moment. So I will open it. This is for a moment. It needs a little bit time here to open. This is, for example, here, very simple.
Cube.
Playing cube. Don't know. Sorry, I don't know the English word for. And you will see that everything is created by a combination of Boolean groups. It is also possible to combine multiple Boolean groups, which is other. For example, also remark here that from this cube, these edges will be flatted, and also here for each of this white dots are created by a sphere and a cylinder. And you have also here the possibility to create a parametric, and also sometimes it is helpful if you are working with such complex models that you go here, then right-click, convert into a 3D object, and then you will have only a very simple object inside of your scene tree. Sometimes it is very helpful if your scene tree is not too large, and so you can use this Boolean group. You can create here a furniture out of this, so that you can later use it all the time when you want it inside of the RELUX projects.
In all your projects.
So in all your projects. The other possibility is simply to copy it out of this project with the copy function and paste it into another scene or into another project.
Yeah. So this is the benefit of Boolean groups. You can subtract, intersect, combine objects, and making round flaps and create almost everything which you have in mind in 3D objects. These are the most common functions to create 3D objects. This Boolean stuff.
We have also a situation where it is very useful is here, for example, and we have here this office scene, which is including here this kind of
and small office and small working place inside
the chief office or whatever it is. Sorry,
special task office. Yeah.
Our director told me I should.
And you can see that the openings are also flexible, and the openings can be also adjust later on.
Here, for example, we can now all the time adjust these openings. Yeah. And this is very simple. This is a partition wall, as I shown it before, combined with two cubes for the openings for the walls. Okay, so these are the possibilities.
We have to show also the flat.
Sorry. Yes, I forgot in my entry. In the insert, we have here the possibilities. I have here now demonstrated here the solids, the basic solids, which are the extruded solids, then some primitive solids for spheres and so on, the body of rotation of a rotated volume. And here in the bottom, we have also the possibility to use faces. Faces are just thin surfaces.
Simple, flat, simple, no flat. Really height. It's a bit of a height, but it's almost zero height.
And it's not changeable. This is a real with light interacting surface as a difference from our measuring surfaces, which are just representing calculation points. So these are just, they are not real. This is sometimes hard to explain for people outside of the light planning situation. What is a virtual measuring surface? A virtual measuring surface is just a place where you later go with your lux meter and make your measurements. So it is not as difference here. We have here the realistic surface. Yep. This is also useful when you can use the material glass on it. Then you can use these surfaces for ray tracing calculation when you want to calculate transparency inside of rooms.
Yeah. So for glasses, it's super to have this faces, the simple surfaces. If you can also create a really flat cube, but then you have at least two faces, two surfaces to interact in glass. So this single surface is great for glass and material coverings.
So all the time when you want to simulate such, I guess this is the first choice to use this surfaces when you want to inside of rooms. Okay, and now I will. These are the basic objects which we have inside here for the modeling. We have also the possibility to import 3D objects outside from RELUX. I will open here as a scene, exterior scene, because here is a little bit more size to show. And for the import, we can go here to the back page and go to the import button. And then we have here various import situations. Here in the top have we the possibilities for importing scenes. We have shown this in some other Fun with RELUX sessions.
Especially recut.
Yeah. Especially recut. And here in the bottom, we will have our 3D object possibilities to import 3D objects.
Yeah. You can also import other RELUX scenes into a RELUX scene. This is one of the first options here, which is interesting maybe. Also recuts, and we also going to create an IFC import, but on the scene side. So it's about rooms and room related stuff, and not the 3D object in an IFC. So this is a different part. And in 3D objects, you can see we have 3ds at the moment, AutoCAD DXF, and also a bit old school VRML stuff. And we're going to extend this also with GLDF. We have to also deal with OBJ, and we are also going to add FBX and Collada DAE files, and who knows? So we can extend it.
Maybe some more.
Yeah.
Okay, and here we can simply select 3ds files. Here in the first step, we should always take a look to the dimensions, and maybe we have to scale it here. In this example, the scaling is okay because it's a car and the dimensions are useful for a car. And afterwards, on the other side here is my car imported. So nothing special. You will find thousands of these objects in the World Wide Web. and you can. This is the possibility how you bring it into a RELUX project.
Yep.
Our others to the DXF, we must say it works only with DXF files which are face-based or mesh-based. In a AutoCAD DXF file, it can also be including solids and or just 2D lines. So sometimes the people try to import here a simple 2D drawing, which we can import 2-3 drawing as in the context of a background, as of a CAD drawing. There is the 2D information, the lines, layers, and these things impossible. But here with this option DXF, we try to find if we find 3D meshes or 3D faces inside of the DXF. And here in this example, we will see now that there are the dimensions a little bit oversized, and because we must told the system what's the scaling, and this DXF is drawn in millimeters, and for this I have to use here 1,000 units per meter to get realistic things, and then we will have here the state of liberty, and you can take a look here to the. So these are the triangles, the meshes, which is here. What you will not see, I would use the Control and W button to switch between the face view and the
wireframe.
Wireframe.
That's why it's W, because
wireframe. You will find that this command also here in the context we need to switch between these points. So, and then
there's also an option to take objects from ReluxNet. We have put our 3D objects in the past. The 3D objects were integrated in your setup. Now we have it put it to ReluxNet, and in ReluxNet we have a lot of 3D objects for free. You can use them stored on your local hard drive still, and here we have in various multiple options for different 3D objects, and you are free to use them. You can download it directly with a button, or download on your hard drive, or put it directly into your project. Sometimes you have to click on the RAW file. It's the same file format we use also for Luminas, so don't be confused. It's a big. This is a C-line is a bit too big.
This C-line is really large.
But it's also possible to scale.
We have here the possibility to change the size here. Yeah. But now for my demonstration, it is also here
a nice scene.
Nice.
Now we need some lights in it.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, and yes, you will find here a lot of in a lot of categories objects which you can use in your project. So this is really new. Just
half a year,
one
year or something. So
so in this time. Yeah. Okay, and then last but not least, for more the professionals of you, you have also the possibility. We have a plugin which is called RELUX Cut for AutoCAD. This is this one. This is mainly designed to working with 2D drawings as an interface, but this plugin has also one functionality, and this is the possibility that you can transfer also, for example, solids from AutoCAD. I will just try here such a donut, and let me change the color so that it looks a little bit better in RELUX. And then we have here the possibility to copy 3D objects by selecting them in the drawing, and then can copy it here into the clipboard. I have also the possibility to set a name here already, and after I have copied it to the clipboard, I can also here paste it into my RELUX scene. See you now. Oh, funny. Has already the right dimension to put in the car.
Yeah. So if you are used to using AutoCAD for 3D modeling, which is a bit special, But if you are in this direction, you can use all the modeling tools and functions in AutoCAD and transfer it really easy and quickly, as you have seen, to RELUX Desktop.
Yes. Especially, it has the possibility also to handle volumes, solids in AutoCAD, not only meshes. Meshes works also, but the special thing, this copy function can also use everything which is here. Sorry, the AutoCAD is in German, but this means volumes. I guess everything. You can also use here AutoCAD, which has some more functionality for creating some 3D models, and you can use it for this point.
Yeah, we have also Boolean objects, but for example, in RELUX we don't have this swipe function that you can move or extend, not just in the Z direction. You can extend for an organious curved objects. You can sweep, for example, if you make some stadiums or something. This is useful to have this kind of 3D modeling features.
Okay, and that was our session from Fun with RELUX 3D modeling today.
Yep.
I say goodbye. Robert, you will see Robert tomorrow live.
Yep.
And he will answer the questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And also in the next episode, it's going to be animation. So it's it's a combination of the things when we go to animate the stuff.
Animation and materials.
And materials, class, for example. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Bye. Have a good time.
See you.
See you.
Yeah. Hello. And as said, here I'm live. Now it's really live. It's not the recording. Yeah, we had a bit of a pointing trouble, so Klaus is not here today. But you have seen the session from yesterday, and it was great, wasn't it? And so we have a bit more of knowledge about 3D modeling with RELUX. And now I'm open to your question, and I have seen that there are some questions. I have just to found my mouse here. So if you have some questions, put it in the question section of your GoToMeeting, and I'm directly starting with the first one. The first one is, can you import IFC models into RELUX? Not now. If you have now IFC models, you have to go through Revit. Do you have to use Revit if you have a Revit license, and import IFC into Revit, and Revit can create a RELUX desktop project file, or you can directly with our plugin put it into RELUX as a project, the whole building, or just single rooms of it. So today it's just via Revit, but as we have seen in the session, we are working on a IFC import directly into desktop as a side project. So it's not the main invention to have it into desktop, the IFC, but we needed an IFC importer for something else. So we can also use IFC in desktop soon. So I hope in the next couple of months, not the next days, sorry, but we make progress with it. Yeah, and also in the first just to import, not to export. This is another story, but it looks quite well at the moment. So I'm also quite I'm also quite eager to have it and to see it and to try it. Yeah, it also covers the second question. Is the EFC import far away? A couple of months, maybe this year, maybe if it works well this year. If not, then next year sometimes. Okay, next question. Can you run calculations excluding the 3D shapes to save calculation time? Yes, there's an option. If you have selected a 3D object, there's an option in the properties where you can say this is a decorative object, and if it's decorative, at least the surfaces of the objects will not be having calculation stuff, so they are not calculated, not playing a role into the calculation. We can also go a step further, which is we have planned to do it, that we can also exclude the 3D objects completely, so that it's not in the middle of the light, for example. So this is something else. So there are different ways, different options to exclude objects. At the moment, just the surfaces are not being in calculation if you make it a decorative object. Okay, how/where to create LDT files? A tutorial would be helpful in the future. Yes, we can really do and fun with RELUX just about photometrics, about LDT, for example, or IES. This is a bit more of a geeky episode, I have to say, but it would be fun, and Klaus and I'm quite deep into this photometrics topic, so it would be fun. There is not an easy way to create Olmdat LDT files. Olmdat files normally comes from a measuring called an phonogoniometer. So it's a measuring apparatus machine which scans the lumina from all directions, and out of this data an LDT file comes out. There's not a software tool to create LDT files. There are tools to look into it and to adjust it and to change it, but there's not a creation tool of it. Okay, next question. Is it possible to import the DWG into RELUX CAD? Yes, RELUX CAD is an add-on to the normal AutoCAD, and yeah, and DWG files are the generic standard file for AutoCAD, but you can also import DWG files into RELUX Desktop if you like, and so you can use your DWG files everywhere in RELUX Desktop, in RELUX CAD, even in Revit you can import DWG files and work with it. Next question. Now we have a lot of questions. I'm not sure if I can take it all. Next question. Okay, this was in relation to a previous question. This question is not regarding with this webinar, but could you tell me which episode do you talk about uniformity? Later I will check at YouTube. Yes, you can check on YouTube what the previous episodes were related. I have not in my mind which episode we have talked about uniformity. There was not a single episode about uniformity. Uniformity is just a small piece of requirements on a lighting situation. Maybe you can check out the episode about the new 12464. There is a couple of requirements, also uniformity. Maybe uniformity is not so. It cannot fill a complete episode. Uniformity is just how homogeneous and surface is illuminated, and in math really simple. So 12464 episode, maybe the best choice. Okay, next question. Is it possible to name an object and show in the summary of the calculation so that I can draw a light line with accessory in RELUX? Yes, you can name this in property name for 3D objects, also for measuring areas, and also for this area objects in 2D we have seen. I'm quite sure you can name it, and properly you can also see it in parts of the results. I'm not sure if it's pop up in the results, in the overview of the results, but I'm sure the object has also a written name on it on different outputs. So I'm not sure. We have to try it out, but I'm sure there is a way to do it. A good option to explain what you have in your drawing. Thank you, Leon. If it's not there, it should be easy to create as an option for future versions. Okay. Sorry. Next question. Can I export the 3D model? Yes and no. I had the same question for Klaus, I guess in the German episode of today. You can store the 3D model and you can use it in the next projects in your personal library of 3D models inside your RELUX desktop. But it's not to export as a single file as in 3ds, for example. But in a way, you can also copy and paste from one computer to another the file in the background where we store the 3D models, but this is in DLL. This is not a normal 3D model file. So this is a bit complicated, possible, but not something single and simple like in a 3ds file. Next question, can we import 3D CAD in RELUX? Yes, you can. You can import 3D DXF and DWG files, and you can also see it in 3D and work with it in 3D. It's absolutely possible. And yeah, this is also a nice option you have to show what is inside the building. The next question is, can we import? Sorry, can we import 3D CAD in the RELUX? And another question is, can we export? Export is just flat. Import is in 3D possible. The export of an DWG or DXF file is always flat, I guess. I'm not sure. Maybe it works if you have an imported 3D. No. Sorry, it's flat. The export is flat. The import and export has not in relation together, and the export is just flat. I assume. I'm not really sure. Maybe, but there's no relation between the import and export CAD files. If you export in CAD file, it's mostly flat. Probably there is some height in it. I'm not sure. We have to try out and to see what it is. Could be. Sorry. Next question. Is there a way to create in 3D RELUX object and convert it into a Luminar? No, this is not possible. Not today. Maybe in maybe with GLDF. I'm not sure. If there's a more easy way in the future, probably. Today, 3D objects are not in Luminar. Luminar creation is something special, and Luminar creation is something for manufacturers. So it's not something we provide to the users of RELUX. Course, you need a membership as manufacturer to put in your luminars into it. So there's not an easy way to create your own luminars in RELUX. Yeah, it's not so far away, I have to say. But if you want to create an luminar, the best choice we have today is to create it as a GLDF. You can create an L3D file. This is the geometry file for Luminar for GLDF on the gldf.io page. There are two tools. One tool is the L3D editor creator. Then you can create, edit, and geometry files. Then you can create a GLDF out of it with the GLDF editor on gldf.io for free. And then you have a GLDF. And then you have to wait till we publish a RELUX desktop with GLDF import function. This will happen early next year, I hope. Somewhere next year we will provide this. At the moment, it's just a beta file on my hard drive, and then you have Luminar created. And but yeah, for the usage, you have also to have a license for it to have the geometry in RELUX desktop. So sorry, long route, but in the end, you have to have a membership still in order to use it in RELUX desktop. Sorry for the confusion. Next question. So yeah, I'll have to check on my watch. So 2 last questions, and then the time is over for today. Next question. Can we calculate only stair area in RELUX? Yes, you can calculate quite everything. For stairways, I would recommend to take also calculations of faces on the single stairs. This is the way I would recommend, but it's also possible to make the surface of single stairs also to a calculation surface. Go to the properties of the 3D object of the stairways, and you can select the single surfaces and tick them on for give me calculation results on the single surfaces of the 3D model of your staircase. So this is possible to take surfaces of 3D models as a calculation surface. Okay. Last question. Is there a possibility to export luminars to AutoCAD with only one symbol instead of 3? only one symbol instead of 3. I do not guess this question. Is there a possibility to export luminas to AutoCAD with only one symbol instead of 3? You mean the block, the export to AutoCAD, the CD drawing of the AutoCAD? I'm not sure. This is a symbol, and maybe this group is consisting of different elements. I guess a small number on it, on something. I guess there's limited options to have the symbol of the lumina in AutoCAD. There's not a lot of options to it. What is possible in AutoCAD, what I would do if I have too much information, I would explode it and search for this block and to form it my way in AutoCAD. In AutoCAD, you have more options on this as in RELUX Desktop, but maybe we can do also something in this DWG export. If there's a strong wish, we can also change it in RELUX and make some options about the symbols and the blocks of the luminas in AutoCAD. Okay, yeah, there comes a couple of more questions in, so sorry. This is all we can do in terms of time for today. Thanks for this much questions. Thanks for your interest in 3D modeling. And as I said in the session, in the next episode, this is at the 24th of November, so 1 month ahead of Christmas, so the 24th of November. We have our episode number 16, and this is about animation. We go also a bit into colors and textures and material. So this fits quite well to this episode of 3D modeling, and then we go to animation, camera pathways, and so on. It has a bit of dust on it, these features, but it's worth to see again what is inside, and maybe it's an inspiration to you, maybe not. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks much for your attention. See you next time, and yeah, have a nice day. Goodbye.